So, at a small scale, bad attribution hides the truth. At scale, it outright lies. And this is where leaders start fooling themselves. Because when dashboards look clean, confidence rises. Confidence is not the same thing as clarity. Most dashboards don't fail because the data is live or wrong. So, it's not a data issue when they fail. They fail because there's no one that has designed attribution that survives scale. When attribution breaks, capital stops moving and it just goes in the wrong direction. So early on, everything looks fine. It looks clean. Pilots show movement. Metrics trend in the right direction. Revenue nudges up. Costs flat. Cycle times improve. And all because the systems are small and there's no conflict between systems yet. There are real no baselines. There's really no way to tell what would have happened anyway. So correlation quietly gets mistaken for causation. Something's improved and the AI gets the credit. Confidence rises before clarity ever shows up. So at this stage, looking at dashboards doesn't feel deceptive. It feels reassuring. They confirm that the story that everyone wants to hear and believe is actually true. And then scale arrives. Not one AI initiative, but several across several different lanes of your business or the business you're investing in, across marketing, operations, customer support, finance. They're all touching the same outcomes, and the shared KPIs, they begin to overlap. Revenue, efficiency, retention. Automation is now running across several systems, multiple teams, and timelines. And this is where attribution starts to collapse, not suddenly, but quietly, because aggregation replaces understanding. The dashboards don't reveal the strength or the truth at scale. They make things look more certain than they are. The numbers still move, but nobody can explain why capital gets reallocated based on trends, not causes. Successful initiatives get overfunded, inefficient ones persist, and failures don't look like failures. They just look like noise. So nobody knows which decisions actually mattered or which ones truly drove the outcomes or the desired result. So this isn't an ownership problem. This is a data problem. I Let me try that again. I'd like to blame it on the data. It's actually, it's an ownership problem. So metrics without owners, so nobody's taking full responsibility in managing this. Attribution, it isn't being defended, because there's no ownership. So if nobody owns attribution, then really nobody owns the ROI. So boards and investors ask reasonable questions. What worked? Why did it work? What should we scale next? And the organization can't answer clearly because the people aren't hiding the information. It's because the responsibility is never assigned. So attribution sat between teams, between initiatives, between dashboards, which means in practice it belonged to nobody. So most AI initiatives don't fail at implementation. They fail at attribution design. They succeed operationally, but they fail strategically. Because without attribution, that survives scale, learning stops. And when learning stops, capital efficiency erodes. So if you're managing a portfolio or investing in companies, if your metrics feel reassuring, but you can't explain the outcomes, then you don't have visibility. You have a narrative, and narratives at scale start directing capital. And that's where dashboards stop reflecting the reality and start shaping it. That's where investors fool themselves, and that's where scale quietly breaks the story dashboard as well. If you're in the venture capital business, the investment business, this is probably more important to you than most because you're working across the portfolio of multiple companies. If you're interested in learning more about AI and how AI may help those organizations be more efficient, may identify, the errors in the data, and in this case, in the dashboard and attribution, then stay tuned. I'm gonna continue to cover additional topics like this in the lives, in my blog, and on my YouTube channel. Have a great rest of the week.